Hey Lorkeets, this video is going to help you navigate and answer the questions in your exit slip about one of the biggest and most new features that we are going to work with during NTI, and that is called Google Meets. So right now you're looking at my screen and this is what you're going to see when you log on to Google Meets. We're going to talk about the times, we're going to talk about the expectations, and then how to get to the Google Meets. The first thing that you might be asking is, what is a Google Meet? Google Meet is an online video conferencing application that's going to turn our computers into a digital classroom. It's going to allow you to have access to me and access your peers through chat and through video and through audio. It is going to be used to ask questions, receive extra help, and it's a way for you to check in with me and kind of make sure everybody's doing okay and make sure that if you need any help, I'm here for you. The first thing that you guys are going to need to know is what time I'm going to be available to answer your questions in Google Meets. I will be available every single day between 10 o'clock and 10:45. And if you're not a morning person or somebody else is using the computer, you can hop back on from 12:30 to 1:15. So those two time blocks every single day, I will be able to meet you on Google Meets, answer any of your questions, and kind of hang out with you guys for the duration of that time. The next thing that you need to know is, how are you going to access the meeting space, or how do you know where to go to meet up with Miss Wyatt or your friends? In order to access Google Meets, you're going to start in your Google Classroom. The Google Meet link is always going to be posted inside of the date range. So for this example, we're going to be looking at April 7th through the 10th. You will see that there is a Google Meet link. You will click on that link where it's going to take you to the screen that looks something like this. For today's example, I've got one of my best friends with me. This is Mary. She's going to be pretending to be a student. So this is essentially what you will look like when I see your screen. So we're going to go through what features I'm expecting you to use and what features I'm expecting you to never use. So again, we've already talked about the times. We've talked about how to get to it. The first thing that you need to know, and Mary has already done this, the first feature that you need to access when you log on to Google Meets is the mute button. It's not that I don't want to hear you, it's just I want to hear you when I need to hear you. So if you scroll down to the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a series of icons. The first icon you're going to see is the turn microphone off. So when you click that, it will turn red. I will know that you have clicked that because the icon will appear at the bottom of your screen just like Mary has at the bottom. In the middle, you'll see the leave call button. You will only need to use that once you're done asking questions or once the meeting is over. And then the last button that we're going to watch Mary navigate is the turning off camera button. So maybe Mary, or maybe you're not really feeling the way you're looking today. Maybe you're just, your hair isn't on point, whatever. You can click the turn off camera button, and whatever icon you have set up in Google will be the only thing that people see. So the three buttons at the bottom, I'm expecting you to be able to use. The muting button or the turning off the microphone, I expect you to use immediately. The leave call button, I expect you to use at the end of the meeting. And then the turning off the camera, I expect you to use it if you're just not wanting other people to see your face. The other buttons that you need to know about are going to be in the top right of your screen. So the one that we want to get into the most detail is going to be the chat feature. So you can open up your chat feature. I'm going to be able to use this to ask you questions, maybe have more clarifying questions. It's also a place where you can respond to my group questions. So for this particular example, I've asked everybody what they had for breakfast. Mary's going to type in what she had for breakfast. She's going to be appropriate with what she says because of the following things. Number one, there are expectations and consequences when meeting digitally. Just because we are not at school does not mean I'm not going to hold you to those expectations. There are consequences as well. What you need to know about the chat feature is that I cannot delete your message. You cannot delete your message. So if you decide to be a turd nugget and write something that's inappropriate, there is no way that you can get out of getting in trouble. I can not add you to the Google Meets. I can also tell JCPS that you're not using your technology appropriately. And when we do go back to school, technology will not be given to you for further activities. So please use discretion and use your time, your chat appropriately. So thank you, Mary, for letting me know that you had eggs and bacon. Once we're inside the chat, you have the option of seeing who all is inside of this chat. So right now it's just myself and Mary. I'm hoping that eventually this class will be full, or the Google Meet will be full with a whole bunch of you all. You all are more than welcome to join my class every day. If you are finished with your math or you're finished with your science, you're more than welcome to hop back on. Okay, so that's the chat feature. You might be wondering, how am I supposed to ask you a question, Miss Wyatt, or what's the point of this Google Meet if I can't talk to you? The way I want you to respond, or the way I want you to tell me that you have something to say, is by raising your hand. And then once I call on you, then you can unmute yourself and then we can have a conversation. I don't want to do that with a whole bunch of people. I'd rather it be a one-on-one conversation just to make this easy to understand. So Mary is going to raise her hand because she has a question for me. I'm going to say, Mary, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. And I'll say, what's up, Mary? What's your question?
What's the capital of Kentucky?
Mary's going to now mute herself again. I'm going to tell her that the capital is Frankfort. I could also tell her to go to the chat. She could have asked that question in the chat, and I could also answer it in the chat. But what I'm expecting from you is to raise your hand. I will call on you, and then I'll tell you to mute and unmute yourself. Okay, so that is how I will call on you. That is how you will mute and unmute yourself. I do want you all to know that I just can't wait to see you all. I can't wait to talk to you. I just want to make sure that it's productive and that it's clear for everyone to understand. So we're going to pretend like it is 1:15, which means my meeting time is over. So I'm going to ask everyone that is on this meet right now to go ahead and access that middle button at the bottom, which will have you leave the call. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I will know that everybody is off the call because I will be the only person here. So once our call and once our time is over, I'm going to expect everyone to leave the chat. The link will become disabled, and then you'll just wait again until tomorrow when I post the link. So I hope this is helpful for you all. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Oh, here comes Mary. She must have forgotten that our call is done. So Mary, I'll see you tomorrow. You can access the link again tomorrow. You can leave the call. Leave the call. Okay, so that does it for me. I hope you guys have a good day. I can't wait to start with you guys. I can't wait to see your all's faces. Bye, y'all.